If you're driving, please remember to use your car's Bluetooth speaker while listening to the AM Drive. Sports talk is not worth your safety or the safety of others.
Grab your popcorn and sit back.
Jump the gun. Oh, no, give me more than that. Okay, go this way. That was dumb. We are.
How could I tell you when nobody wants to? Your favorite words I would show.
Happy Wednesday to everyone in the sports universe. This is the AM Drive, and we are live here on November 1st, 2023. For Aaron Crouch, who's in Las Vegas, Nevada, I am Michael Carvelis in Guyton, Georgia. Aaron, how has your last week been?
It's been pretty brutal betting.
Oh.
Almost to the point where I want to retire. I said I was going to retire, and that lasted all of like 20 minutes. But I got to experience and enjoy my son's first Halloween.
Hey.
He was a knockoff version of Sully from Monsters, Inc.
Hey.
Spirit Halloween doesn't have the actual costumes, but pretty close. But no, he, just to see all of the newness that Halloween becomes to your child is a different viewpoint that I tell you what, there's a lot of things in my life that I didn't expect to ever see or experience, and you get to see them and experience them through someone else's eyes that you love. It's a pretty cool and unique set of circumstances, and I'm grateful for it.
Is that a new hat?
That's an even funnier story. So I went golfing on Sunday. Obviously, I have no hair. I forgot to wear a hat, and I burnt my head, and my head has swollen to the point where my hats don't fit.
That's kind of scary.
I've never, I'm a little freaked out right now. This is day number 3, but this is my stretchy hat, so I needed something to put on. So this one stretches.
Your head's, that's not good.
Yeah, I think my head swelled, and so like day 5 or 6, I may have to seek out some professional help.
That's not. I wonder if that's. I don't know. That's skin cancer. That's weird. Interesting.
I think it's just inflammation. I'm hoping.
To support Aaron's need for medical stuff, MikeandAaronDrive.com.
I think it's actually my ego is really what it is.
That's a good point too. MikeandAaronDrive.com for the best in our shop, sponsors, socials, and YouTube in one beautiful place.
Shout out to my joke writer on that one.
The World Series latest, by the way. And this has been brutal. I don't know if you saw the report that Game 1 had this is insane. This is an insane stat considering we have the pitch clock. We've got all these new things in baseball, and people were kind of teasing, well, the ratings were going to suck. Well, lowest ever recorded watched in Game 1. That doesn't even make sense in the year 2023. It does not make any sense at all. And then you pile on top of that, last night Max Scherzer got hurt. And the previous game, Max Scherzer got hurt. So him and Garcia have been taken off the World Series rosters.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, baseball! What in the heck is going on? Have you watched any of this? I'll be honest. I'm part of the problem. I'll be honest with you.
It's funny. I actually watched Game 1, and to piggyback on that, games 2 and 3 were also the lowest viewed 2 and 3 in World Series history.
That's brutal.
So I'll take a stab at that, I guess you could say. Game 1, I mean, this is a league that literally has changed the game to try to appeal to a younger audience.
Mm-hmm.
We can agree on that, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So they decided games 1 and 2 were going to be on a Friday and an NFL Sunday.
We've gotten on to them about that before. That's a good point.
I mean, Friday, the pandered to demographic is out and about enjoying themselves. They're not sitting at home.
High school football too, yeah.
I mean, Yeah, if you're going that young, for sure.
But even after that, it's like you're right. They're having fun.
I was going for like the 21 to 35 demographic.
Right.
These guys are out. They've either got kids, they've got, their own, like you said, their own sports, youth sports, like their kids are in sports. But Friday night, it's just, and then NFL Sunday, you're just not going to win. You're never going to beat the NFL. Same thing I've been telling hockey. You're not going to beat the NFL and the NBA. You should literally flip your schedule. Actually, almost to where baseball is. But yeah, and I said this. My brother and I have been kind of betting these playoffs and other things as well. He's really getting into sports betting. Don't tell mom. But the thing is like I told him, I said, look, the MLB doesn't want Rangers Diamondbacks. They want Phillies Astros. They want the replay. They want Dusty. They want Bryce Harper. They want the big cities. They want the big payrolls. Yeah, these stories are cool. Don't get me wrong. I love the story of the Diamondbacks. But like Max Scherzer has been in and out of these playoffs. Marcus Semien doesn't move the needle for me. Corey Seager is hitting bombs, but again, I can have Bryce Harper hitting bombs, and I've got a $300 million payroll in Philly. I've got the cheating B words that you like to call them in Houston. Yep. Yeah. So why am I stuck with the Rangers Diamondbacks? Look, great stories for both teams. One of them is going to be a World Series champion. It's just not what the people want.
I think that's almost like I don't want to say it's a simple take, but I feel like every single year we hear, oh, well, the league doesn't want this. I'm like, yeah, that you can use it for every big city that shows up and doesn't make it.
Yep.
But to me, it's like there's got to be something more here. And I think it is the Friday and Sunday thing does not help it at all. If that was the audience they're pandering to, I think that's way more about. I don't care. I don't think people care about big city stuff unless it's the people in those cities as much as people think they do. I know I don't.
Okay, well,
do I really care if it's Arizona or Philadelphia? I don't think I care.
I mean, I don't as a fan who will sit down and watch the games. And like I said, I watched game one. I haven't watched anything since. But Phillies Diamondbacks gets me to the TV far easier than this does. Like maybe on Sunday night, I'm not watching the Chargers blow out the Bears. I'm watching this game. Which actually, now that I think about it, I did flip a little bit. But mostly it stayed on Chargers Bears. So, and I mean, let's if you look at it from an analyst standpoint, you're like, Chargers, Bears, what are you watching that game? It was a blowout. It's the Bears. I mean, Tyson Bagent had my attention more than the Diamondbacks Rangers.
Oh. I will admit I was watching the cheating bastards and the Rangers, and I was watching a little bit of Phillies Diamondbacks, but I was definitely watching those more than this. So it's interesting. Maybe I do need the cheaters up there. I don't know. Maybe like in my brain that sells me more than
I think
Cinderella Diamondbacks.
I think baseball needs star power, and I mean sometimes these stories are cool, but like how often do we talk about when's Shohei going to make a World Series? When's Mike Trout going to make a World Series? I mean, can you imagine
if those two made it, that'd be great.
If this was Dodgers Astros, we would not be having this conversation.
Rangers are up 3-1, and it's like even your Cinderella story is getting its teeth stomped in right now. And I have not seen them market a living hell. I haven't seen them market anything out of Corbin Carroll. And you've been singing his praises. I haven't seen any marketing for that guy. Like,
I don't think they know what to do with him just yet. But yeah,
it doesn't matter.
I don't disagree with you, man. But like that's the biggest thing you can market in this entire series. Scherzer's out. Garcia's been a beast. He's out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who do you market in this series? Corbin Carroll, the 5'6" right fielder who's just been clutch as hell. I mean,
say can rookie sensation or second year sensation Corbin Carroll lead the Diamondbacks to a comeback win? Like you can say stuff like that and do it a little bit better than whatever the crap they're doing. Hey guys, it's the World Series. Watch it. Thanks.
I'm sure there's commercials out there, but
there's not.
I don't know what the MLB can do. And I know it's easy to call out the problems, but I don't like to do that without solutions. I mean, obviously, your schedule matters. I think drawing out your series matters. You don't play every other night or don't play every, back-to-back nights. Put a gap in between. Let us talk about it. they can find a way to. The other thing is they don't move the needle on ESPN, on Fox Sports 1. Like, they don't talk about them. They just don't.
At all.
I mean, they have little niche shows that are on ESPN Plus and things like that, and we obviously have a whole channel dedicated to MLB, but they just don't move the needle in this realm of world we live in.
I think their marketing strategy has sucked for a good 10 years that I can remember. It has sucked for a long time.
So I 100% agree with that, and this is probably the last thing I'll say. I 100% agree with that. I just don't know if there's anything they can do.
Why? They can't say Corbin Carroll. Can he, like, on social media? I haven't seen social media say that.
I'm sure if we dug hard enough, you could find something. Maybe not. I don't know. It could be wrong. But
I don't think so.
I believe that you're right. I think that they've rolled. It's like the Pac-12. Maybe not that harsh, but it's like they've rested on their laurels for so long, and now they can't get. They're caught in a tizzy between alienating the people who actually watch the games, like shout out Mitch Bernstein,
Right,
and trying to capture an audience that I just don't think cares.
I will admit, postseason baseball is one of the more fun things to watch.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. And on top of that, baseball is still one of the healthiest sports in terms of money. So, I mean, they're doing something right.
I don't know what it is. All right, when we come back, a lot of NFL trades that I didn't see coming, actually. I was impressed with the NFL trade deadline. And also our NFL top 5 teams. We're right back to the AM Drive right here on our YouTube. Like saying our YouTube, man. I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's going to be interesting. Speaking of our YouTube and our sponsors, I want to let you guys know about AgriDime. It's very simple. If you like the highest quality meats delivered directly to your door for less than what you would pay retail price for, then you got to visit our folks at AgriDime, our friends over there. Go to MikeandAaronDrive.com, click the logo that looks just like that in the corner. And when you shop, use promo code AMDrive for 10% off your order. Mike, I have news about AgriDime. They are not currently accepting any more cattle investments. So if you weren't in, you aren't in.
This is a sad day. Thankfully, I don't know, man. I might have fallen in love. I have to admit it.
Yeah, you might have. Yeah,
I might have fallen in love with that with old Tootsie. So I couldn't think of any other good cow names, and I'm not going to do that again. But I just thought, yeah. Shout out AgriDime.
Shout out.
Woo! All right. So NFL trade deadline, like I said before the break, was pretty good, including Rasul Douglas, which we're not going to get to. But hey, he's still. Where was he at before he went to the Bills?
The Packers.
Where was he at before? That was the guy who kept on getting the interceptions to start his career, right?
He had some timely ones to win some games. I do agree with that.
Wow. So they got their little poor man's Trayvon Diggs. That helps. We're not going to talk about that, though. San Francisco 49ers. I'll be honest. I think Chase Young is about as successful in his career so far as Jadeveon Clowney. If you know the show's history, we don't care for that guy at all. It was all hype. This guy from Ohio State was the cream of the crop. He was the next generational talent that every draft seems to have about 3 or 4 of. And most of them never pan out as that, even though they might be good. Chase Young's a good player with some injury history, even to start this season. But I think 49ers, paired with Nick Bosa and the boys on the line, I think Eric Armstead's still healthy. Wow. Now we might actually hear his name called on Sundays more than we probably would have before. I don't know when they're going to be. There might be timely sacks, but I think Chase Young is good enough to make this 49ers team a little bit better. Unfortunately, it's not in the quarterback spot, but hey, you know what? Who cares? I think it's a good idea I think it's a good move for them.
Yeah, I mean, when you can get him for a 3rd-round pick, it's absolutely. I mean, he's going to be a free agent this year. This is clearly a rental. I don't see an avenue where they can really bring him back, depending on how much money that he's actually trying to command. But yeah, I mean, you see these tandems, pop up across the league. Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney tried it, I think, last year. You have Bosa, the other Bosa, and Khalil Mack. It just seems like it propels one of them. Like, I know Khalil Mack had 6 sacks this year, but Joey Bosa is the more steady defender. I think this will only benefit Nick Bosa because it's just another player on the line that offenses have to game plan around. I mean, can Chase Young get his? I think so. Sure. I mean, he may end up with 5 or 6 more sacks this year.
Right. That's almost, yeah.
But this benefits Nick Bosa. This benefits the defense, which the defense, to be honest with you, hasn't been getting the quarterback. I think they're bottom 3rd of the league, and I think they're like 20th in the league in sacks this year.
Nico Ryan's is heavily missed there.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely say that. Robert Saleh, D'Amico Ryans, they've had a lot of good defensive coordinators that have gone out the door to get head coaching jobs. But getting it for a 3rd, I mean, if you can find a way to keep this guy around for 3 more years, I think this is absolutely a wonderful pick or a wonderful pickup. I mean, and if you don't, you took a shot. You're in a win now mode, and you're taking a little bit of a page of the Rams, but you didn't have to give a 1st-round pick for this guy. You only gave him a 3rd. I like the move.
No, I definitely like the move, and I think it benefits. I mean, the fact the Commanders had to lose this guy for a 3rd-round pick, or even anything more than a 1st, is pretty brutal. It shows you how wonderful he's looked for them and how much they value him at this point. Maybe that was the only way to get rid of him because he was a free agent. So they're like, hey, we get a 3rd-round pick. That's great.
Yeah. The Commanders have to be ecstatic for getting a 3rd. I mean, we don't value 3rds like teams value 3rds. And I know this guy was like the number 2 pick overall. Wasn't he in the Burrow draft?
Yeah, he was right behind Burrow.
I mean,
overall player supposedly.
Yeah, I mean, the first year and a half before he was injured, he was a menace. I mean, we talk about that Washington defense from a few years back. I mean, he was the anchor piece.
If the Bengals had Carson Palmer still playing pretty well, do you think they might have drafted Chase Young?
Do you mean Andy Dalton, Carson Palmer?
Any of them? I was just saying, like, I think Andy Dalton you could replace him, but I feel like if Carson Palmer was still there, maybe making the playoffs, I don't think they draft Joe Burrow. They might draft Chase Young.
If Carson Palmer was still there, that would have been like year 17 for Carson Palmer. So,
but you get it. The point is, like, he was playing. He's better than Andy Dalton. That's why I brought him up instead of Andy Dalton.
I still think drafting Joe Burrow was not a bad move.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, if you have a quarterback, which they did not, I think they might have drafted Chase Young.
Sure, if they had a quarterback. I think if you built around,
they didn't have a quarterback.
If you had prime Andy Dalton where Joe Burrow was, year 1 with Jamar Chase.
It's funny that Chase Young was viewed as the number 1 pick. That's why I think it's funny about this.
Yeah, I mean, so was Jadeveon Clowney. The guy went number 1. I mean, you see what happens in college. I mean, all you can really do is go off what they do in college. I mean, and sometimes, I mean, you look at the first round the last 10 years, I would say it's an over 60% swing and miss rate.
Yep. It's not. I mean, MLB would love to have that kind of rate.
Yeah, now they strike out a lot.
Right. Joshua, this is Joshua Dobbs. You said Dobbs. I'm assuming it's Joshua Dobbs, right?
Yeah.
Cardinals have got to feel great. Like, they put this dude to the fire. They're doing 1-6. It's like, hey, we got some capital for the guy. Have him by. Now, granted, does this happen if Kirk Cousins doesn't, ow? No, it does not happen. But they've got to feel almost like, thanks, Kirk, in a way. Like, this has got to feel good for them.
I mean, they really they rented him because I think they traded a 6th-round pick for him, and then they got a 6th-round pick back, but they had to give up a conditional 7th. I don't know what that condition is.
the fact that that these guys, we were all wondering, why are they starting him over Clayton Tune? We were like, Josh Dobbs, this is crazy. And it's like, oh, okay, smart move, Cardinals.
I mean, I told you from day one they were tanking.
No, wait, did you know they were going to trade Josh Dobbs for anything? I don't think anybody in their right mind thought that.
Well, I'm sure when they I mean, if tanking was in the recipe for the team, Josh Dobbs came out and did exactly what he was asked to do. Basically, he wasn't directly asked, but inadvertently he was asked.
I think this was the best that could have happened for them if they did lose all these games.
Well, I agree. I mean, they're talking about Kyler Murray coming back. It's the dumbest thing in the world. I mean,
wow, you want to trade him too? Shoot.
I'm sure they would love to trade him, but you got to find a partner to take on $48 million a year. No, I mean, I think they did exactly what they were expected to. They weren't expected to win. I expected them to tank. They rented Josh Dobbs for a 6th-round pick, then traded him right back for a 6th-round pick. I mean, if I was actually trying to compete, I would have seen what I got out of Clayton Tune, and that's what I think they're going to do for the rest of the year.
Yes! My fantasy draft paid off.
I don't see a world where Kyler Murray comes back this year. I don't get it. If
you keep
you're
saying that, but the reports are saying differently.
I mean, reports can say whatever they want, and I agree with you. I think that it might actually happen that Kyler Murray comes back, but
yeah, if
you have a $48 million quarterback on a 1-6 team where the 3 teams above you are all, I believe, I could be wrong with the Rams, but I believe they're 500 or better. What's the point? If you're trying to trade him,
trading Kyler Murray, if you can get it out of Josh Dobbs.
What if he tears his ACL again? He ain't going anywhere. You're on the hook.
What if Josh Dobbs tore his? I mean, come on now.
You lose a 6th-round pick.
Why would he tear it again if he just? I know that happens sometimes, but come on now.
Let's not act like acquiring Josh Dobbs is such a miracle decision.
No, not acquiring. I think trade. The fact they were able to throw him out there, no one gave a crap about who he was, and they were still able to get a 6th back. It's got to be a win for them.
Well, I think if Kirk Cousins doesn't tear his Achilles, then Josh Dobbs is waived, and they don't get anything.
But it worked out.
Yeah, it's a lucky one. I thought they'd trade him to actually start him, but they seem to be wanting to go with the rookie Hall. So,
Jaron Hall. Woo!
I mean, let's see what happens. I mean, they have to make a decision on Justin Jefferson here real soon, and whether he's going to play the rest of the season or shut it down. I think they're going to find out here in the next 2 weeks which way they go. They're the 7th seed right now.
Yeah, it's almost like that scheme is good and Justin Jefferson. I know people are going to push back on this and say, oh, he's really good. I understand that. I still think the fact that Jordan Addison has stepped right on up shows me that's a lot of scheme. Even though Jordan Addison might be good.
Jordan Addison's good too.
But why is he putting up really good numbers too and right off the bat? That doesn't just happen.
It happened with
Justin Jefferson's always wide open is what I'm saying.
It happened with Jamar Chase. It didn't happen with Devontae Adams. He had a pretty good rookie year, but not that good.
Justin Jefferson is always wide open. That's why I keep telling people no one believes me.
He's a good route runner.
Well, scheme helps that too.
Yes, scheme helps everything, Mike. That's why coaches exist.
He makes a couple good catches and all the time. Everyone thinks he's the greatest thing of all time. It's incredible.
I think he's the best wide receiver in the league.
That's insane.
Who's the best wide receiver in the league?
I don't think it's Justin Jefferson. I would take Devontae Adams. I'd take your guy over him.
That's not my guy, but I would definitely take Devontae.
Oh no, but he's not the best receiver in the league.
He's one of them, but I think Justin Jefferson with his athleticism. I think there's catches Justin Jefferson can make that Devontae cannot make.
I think Cinderella catches. I mean, Odell Beckham can do that too, but
used to be able to do, not anymore. I will tell you this: when he's fully healthy, neither of them are my favorite receivers. When he's fully healthy, Cooper Kupp's the best receiver in the league.
Easy.
I don't care. When he's fully healthy, he's the best receiver in the league.
You've said that before.
I don't waver in my decisions until there's actual empirical evidence that changes it.
Montez Sweat. He has one of the best celebrations in the league, by the way.
I don't think I've ever seen it. No.
After a sack, he goes like this and wipes his head. It's fantastic.
I think he got a degree commercial too.
Smart.
Like the deodorant, yeah.
Very smart by Procter & Gamble. Very smart. Bears. Cool. Anything here?
Baby, what are you doing? That's what I have to say to the Bears. That's my message to them. Giving up a high draft pick to go get Montez Sweat?
What'd they give him?
A second-round pick.
Oh, he's not. I mean, he's good, but I don't know if he's that good. Good Lord.
Well, it's a second-round pick that might be like 33, 34. I mean, it might be a high first, basically.
That's bad.
I mean, yeah, like you said, Montez Sweat is fine, but like what this looks like to me is this is a rebuilding franchise that doesn't really quite know how to rebuild.
They're trying to win now. It's like,
you build through the draft. So giving up a high first, early second for a guy who's, I mean, you tried this with Khalil Mack. Obviously, you paid much less of a price here for this, but like you go build through the draft, like that high second round or that high second round pick is more valuable in the draft than it is to Montez Sweat. Now, anybody you pick in that pick might not be better than Montez Sweat right off the bat, but that's not the way you rebuild. This is not the way you rebuild. You have DJ Moore, you have a cornerstone receiver, and then everything else is expendable right now. Everything.
fair.
Why are you bringing in this piece? It just doesn't make sense to me. And then on the flip side, like, is Ron Rivera just checked out? I mean, is he done?
I mean, based on these two moves, yes.
I mean, obviously he didn't make the moves, but I mean, I feel like the Washington's just checked out. They're just done.
Well, Eric Bieniemy, I told you he was coming for that coaching job, and that seems to be very in the writing.
Well, I'm sure Eric Bieniemy would love to have Chase Young and Montez Sweat when he takes over.
Maybe Ron Rivera's trying to sabotage him. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, like they don't make those moves, but I mean, Washington's now 3-5 in a division where they're 2.5 games back from the second place team.
They've been competitive.
I mean, they've definitely been competitive, but in terms of wins and losses, they don't have the edge there. So
shout out to the Redskins though for getting that second round pick.
I mean, to get a second and a third for guys that just, I mean, Montez was playing well, but Chase Young's just not working out for them.
All right.
Wait, you got the best move happened overnight.
What is it? We're running out of time. Go ahead.
Adios, Josh McDaniels. Did you miss that?
I guess I did.
Yeah, Josh McDaniels and the GM Ziegler both got axed at like 10 o'clock at night here. It was wild.
So in other words, that's now back-to-back regimes. Boy, that Raiders franchise is horrible. Good God. First Mike Mayock and John Gruden, and then within like a matter of 2 years. That's just stupid.
Well, to be fair to Mike Mayock and John Gruden, they actually put a winning product and a playoff team in place.
That's lightly used.
They did. They made the playoffs.
Whoa!
Well, they've done a lot better than Josh McDaniels has.
Well, I could have told you that, but you swore by his soul, but okay.
I did. I was a Josh McDaniels stan, and now I am completely off, and I'm hoping that he can go back to the Patriots and resurrect.
I bet you are. Just like Bill O'Brien's done so well. Fantastic.
Well, I mean, Josh McDaniels didn't go immediately back to the Patriots last time. I think he spent a year with the Rams or something like that. So
yeah,
we'll see.
He's such a great head coach. That's all I know.
No, he's poor. He's very terrible as a head coach. Some guys are just coordinators. Some guys are just coordinators.
You're not leaders of men. NFL top 5 teams. You want me to go first?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I got some shake and bacon here. And including a new team that's entered the chat. And one team that's fallen out, which I know people are going to love, especially their fan base. Number 1, the Ravens have moved up and swapped places with the Chiefs, who fell to number 2. I still think Chiefs defense is fine. I think their offense will get fine because they used 11 wide receivers for targets or 11 people to catch passes. And like you just can't, they're going to figure it out. I'm glad they can afford this luxury of still being first place in the AFC, but having nobody to catch the football. It's great. But like I said, number 1 Ravens, number 2 Chiefs, number 3 Eagles. Stay put. Am I blurry right now?
No.
Okay, good. My connection's poor because life. Number 4 are the Jaguars, who have bumped up a spot, and number 5. Replacing the Brock Unpurdies are the Bengals. The Bengals have entered the chat. The Lions were right there as well, but 49ers, your quarterback is buns and soup. Bun soup is your quarterback. We've seen that for 3 weeks in a row now. And yeah, they're not going to go. They're not going to go anywhere with that guy. I'm sorry, I've seen enough.
This is a very early proclamation on the Bengals. I hope that pans out for you. They are currently in -13 in scoring differential, and they're on a 3-game winning streak. So I hope that. I mean, there's so many teams that are better than them right now. But you might be Nostradamus right now. So I don't know. We'll see.
Thank you. That's why Mike said it first.
It could be a Mike said it first. This is what they did last year or the year they went to the Super Bowl. They were like 2-4 at the time. So,
oof.
All right, my top 5. The San Francisco 49ers have fallen out of the rankings as well. I still believe they are a great team. They are just mauled by injuries right now. They're asking Brock Purdy to do more than they expected Brock Purdy to do when the season started. So, number 1, Philly. Number 2, Baltimore. Number 3, Kansas City. Number 4, Detroit. And number 5, the Jacksonville Jaguars. They just keep on winning. Shout out honorable mentions to the Miami Dolphins. Beat a real team. They have a chance this upcoming Sunday in Germany. Excuse me. And another shout out also to the Seattle Seahawks, who are just quietly winning. They're not winning big, but they're winning.
That's a good point about Seattle. I sleep on Seattle because I'm sleepless in Seattle. Ugh. All right.
You've never even seen that movie.
I think I have, actually. It's one of the ones I actually have seen.
Who's in that movie?
Sandra Bullock, right?
No.
Oh. Who's in it?
I don't know. You tell me, Mr. Sleepless in Seattle.
You told me!
It's Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan.
Okay, I'm stupid. She looks like Sandra Bullock. No kidding. Don't say.
She doesn't look like Sandra Bullock at all. They have different hair color.
My bad. We'll be right back.
All right, welcome back here. Let's tell you about our friends at Shank It Golf, shankitgolf.com. If you want to look your best on the course while playing your worst, then the folks at Shank It Golf have got you covered. When you go to shankitgolf.com or mikeandaarondrive.com and click that logo, shop till you drop. They got gloves, polos, hats, all the apparel you can think of that you need when you're wearing clothes on a golf course. AM Drive is the promo code. Get you 15% off your entire order. Tell them the folks over here at the AM Drive sent you to Shank It Golf. And for that, we are #Shankful.
Love it. Now let's get through this briefly. College football playoff ranking. Ohio State, Georgia, Michigan, Florida State. I will be honest. Ohio State, number 1, is very, very bold of the committee. Especially that I don't. Is their win against Notre Dame that impressive considering Notre Dame then lost to Louisville? This is a very weird 1 through 4.
Yeah, this one's tough for me. I mean, I'm not saying Ohio State doesn't necessarily belong in the top 4, but they definitely, to me, don't belong at number 1. I believe this ranking is correct with Ohio State at number 4. I've seen some lapses. I know that's going to sound homer. I know Florida State number 3, but what I've seen is consistency out of Florida State. They've grown each and every week. Georgia's the champ. Georgia hasn't lost. If preseason rankings matter, then Georgia has to be number 1. They just do. 2-time defending champions, haven't lost. Yes, they've had a couple scares if you really want to knock them down a peg. Yes, they've lost Brock Bowers for the season. Are they the best team? No. But in terms of college football playoff standings, they should be the opening number 1 team. Michigan has played nobody, but when they put their pants on, they beat the living crap out of everybody they played. It is what it is. I don't think they're a strong team, but the product they've played in front of them is they've annihilated them. Ohio State, to me, just, with Tre'Davion Henderson in and out of the lineup, Kyle McCord maybe finding his stride here. I do think Ohio State will be in the playoff at the end because I do think they will beat Michigan this year. But as it currently stands, for talking point material, they do not belong at number one, and I think that's exactly why they are.
Oh, interesting last analogy there, sir.
It's just the way I feel. I think I think they're number 4 right now. They haven't beaten anybody. Like you said, Notre Dame now with 2 losses. I mean, who's got the best win out of these 4 teams?
Florida State probably.
Against who? Not Clemson.
Because you bragged about LSU, and I told you that one.
I mean, LSU's still an SEC West team, and
I do think Notre Dame is the best team, but again, losing to Louisville completely. I mean, that looks stupid in my opinion.
Well, I look at this right now. Like, okay, who has the best win? Okay, Georgia has beaten. They play Mizzou this week.
They killed Kentucky and they killed Florida. I'll give them credit for that.
Florida State, of the current college football playoff rankings, Florida State has the best win. LSU number 14.
Wow. Okay, and the fact they put LSU at 14 is still bonkers to me.
I mean, that's where the run of 2-loss teams starts. LSU, Notre Dame, Oregon State, Tennessee. Right. That's where the 2-loss teams are. So,
I think Oregon should be. Yeah, that's insane.
Oregon number 6, Washington number 5. Oregon will never be in front of Washington because of the obvious reasons.
I think Washington should be up here over one of these teams.
Washington has struggled at the wrong time, in my opinion.
They're still beat Oregon.
They did. They have the best win of the top 5 teams. I agree with you. But they don't have the name brand right now like Ohio State does.
That's right.
But we got a lot of ways to go.
Misery. I think Georgia's going to kill him. Because I think this is one of those spots where Missouri is ranked higher than they should be, even though they've only got the 1 loss. They're higher than they should be, so Georgia can step up and kill them.
That's an interesting question now because at home, Georgia 2-3 against the spread. I know they're 5-0 straight up. I don't disagree that I think Georgia will win this game. The question I have is, does Georgia care about being number 1 in the playoff? You cut out there, but
so I don't. Yeah,
I don't know if Georgia really cares about domination and beating teams. And yes, we saw them beat up on Florida, but I think Missouri is a better team than Florida is. Walking into the Hedges, that might be a different story. I don't think they're walking out with a win, but I think they're going to put a little scare into Georgia here.
Is this a noon game?
3:30 Eastern.
Oh, okay. If it was noon, I could see your point, but I think they win by 17 if it's at 3:30. I know it sounds weird. This is what they do.
I mean, it's totally possible. The line's 15.5, so a 17-point victory is not like crazy.
It won't be in Miami Drive 5, that's for sure.
I think the over looks pretty tasty too.
Yummy. Washington and what's left of the corpse of Caleb Williams. This is interesting. I mean, that score is interesting too because I feel like Washington has a better defense than that. Maybe I'm wrong. I know USC doesn't, obviously, but if Washington's going to put up that many points, I mean, that's weird.
76.5, yeah.
Aaron, I want to believe. I think Michael Penix Jr., I don't think he's going to struggle with the USC defense. But can Caleb Williams out? I don't think Caleb Williams can outscore. I think they can lose by 3 or 7. But I don't know. I don't want to touch this game. Washington.
No, I wouldn't touch it either. I mean, like you said, like that number is so tantalizing with the quarterbacks. You say you take the over, and while Washington's offense has struggled, their defense has been playing lights out. And if there's anything we know that Caleb Williams struggles with, it's a good defense. So I would probably lean towards Washington covering this. Has USC given up? I don't know. Lincoln Riley, like they got virtually nothing to play for left in this season, except for trying to get Caleb a Heisman, which I don't think that's working. I mean, this could be a Michael Penix Heisman moment here. So I'm gonna lean Washington, but you're right. This could just be a fun one to watch.
Well, just be money line. I mean, because I don't want to put my money on the fact they might win by 3, they might win by 7. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
This game I do not care about, besides the fact that Alabama still has some life to breathe into themselves. I don't think they're going to make the playoff in the 14 playoff, though. I think Alabama does kill them, though. I don't think it's going to be a 3-point game like it usually is.
I mean, Alabama's just as much into this 14 playoff as anybody else is.
I disagree.
In what world?
Right now, sure. But at the end of the year, I don't think it's going to happen.
They beat Georgia, they're in.
That's great. They're not going to.
Okay, maybe not. But SEC champion is in. So to tell them that they're out of it, like Nick Saban's not going to buy that, brother.
I will put shaving cream pie in my hair if Alabama beats Georgia. How about that?
You're on. I love it. Lock it up.
Lordy. That's
Cut
fair.
the clip. Lock it up.
That's fair. That would be fun. Good Lord, I need to shower right afterwards.
Yeah, this one. But it's funny that you mentioned all this because it's LSU. It's a high-powered offense. When was the last time you saw LSU Alabama with a 60 on that total?
In Alabama, yeah, give me a break.
If there's somebody that's going to be making Jalen Milroe work, it's going to be JT Daniels. This guy's been pleasantly surprising watching him play.
Please.
I mean, do you have a positive thing to say about anyone in college football?
No, I think this year's been horrible. It started with Deion rubbing me the wrong way. I like Oregon, but it's too late for that.
It's not too late for Oregon. Oregon's not out of it either. If Washington goes and loses to Michael Penix or to Caleb Williams, you got a shot, man.
That'd be good.
Now you want Washington to lose. You're all over the place.
I think Oregon's better than these two teams. I really do.
Yeah, I would agree with that, but that doesn't matter. The SEC, it just means more.
I know, right?
So yeah, I'm gonna take Alabama, or excuse me, I'm gonna take LSU plus the 3 points. I think we get a barn burner in this one.
Ooh, I'll take the under. I know you disagree, but yeah.
It's okay that we disagree. Somebody's gonna be right.
Yes. Thursday night football, Titans, Steelers. Aaron, I am not buying into Will Levis at all. I think if Steelers do win this game, it's going to be on the back of a 10-3 victory. Because I'm pretty sure Major Trubisky might have to play in this game. On the other side, though, Hopkins and Henry are questionable, and that's not good because Henry ran for 100 yards in the game that Will Levis threw his 4 mighty touchdowns. I think Titans win because I don't think Steelers have a run game. It'd be nice if they did, although I do like Jalen Warren. I think Steelers' offense is very ugly. I think Titans can do just enough to win this game.
I am on the complete opposite. I favor the home teams in Thursday night football. I do probably believe in Will Levis more than you. It's just not tonight or tomorrow night. Not tomorrow night. Not against Pittsburgh's defense. If there's one thing Pittsburgh can do well, it's play defense, and they're going to get to this quarterback. J.J. Watt, 3 sacks tomorrow night.
TJ. But J.J. works too because they're both.
What did I say? Did I say J.J.? My bad. TJ.
Yeah, that's fine.
Too many J's. They need normal names like Michael and.
Isn't their brother's name Derek? Like, where'd that come from?
Bartholomew or something. I don't know.
Oh, I think good. I'm gonna name my son Barth.
I wonder if his middle name is Jay and he could be DJ Watt, but he was like, you know what? No, I'm good.
Might be I'm gonna Google that. Do it. We gotta go. But wow, that's pretty good.
All right, Pittsburgh minus 2.5. I'll take it. I'll take them by 4 points, 17-13.
I hope you're right because Colts are still got a chance here.
They do. They really do. Minshew mania, baby. All right.
I don't believe that, but go ahead.
That's going to do it here for us. We'll see you guys on Friday. Enjoyed the show. Hopefully you did too. Make sure you follow us on all of our socials. You can find those at mikeandaarondrive.com along with our sponsors, our shop, and, of course, our YouTube. You hit that subscribe button as well. So we appreciate you guys. We have a special announcement coming up toward the middle of this month, by the way. Don't forget. We've teased it a little bit on social media, but special announcement coming up November 17th, so make sure you're here for that show. For Michael Corvellis, I'm Aaron Crouch saying gamble responsibly, and of course, as always,
drive safe.